Welcome back to the Harford Edge. I'm your host, Cindy Mumby, and I'm here with my co-host, Mark Schlattman.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, and we have a very special guest in the studio. We have Harford County Sheriff Jesse Bane. Welcome, Sheriff.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Nice to have you with us. We're gonna got some stories to talk about today. I want to, before we talk about the big story of the week, obviously, which is this very gruesome murder case in Joppatown. I just wanted to ask you briefly about the county budget, because the Harford County budget passed on Tuesday night, and there were some comments raised by the lone no vote on the council, Councilman Dion Guthrie, about some raises that were contained in the budget for deputies that he apparently said were proposed by the administration and that you weren't aware of it. Can you speak to a little bit to that? Are there some deputies, a handful, who are getting raises in the budget, which of course doesn't contain raises for any other county employees?
There are a group of deputies who are at the rank of deputy first class who have been with the agency for a number of years, and there was a supplement to the pay and classification plan for the sheriff's office that created the new rank of senior deputy or master deputy. I'm not sure what the title is going to be, and with that promotion, of course, comes a raise.
Okay, so that was that. And about how many deputies were involved? Do you know?
I don't have the exact number. I'm not really clear on the subject matter because it was negotiated between the county executive and the union, and I was not present for the conversations to know what the agreement was.
Okay, I see. Well, I guess now we have to move on to this story of the week.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody is really interested in hearing about.
Yeah, so we're going to ask you to sort of lay this out for us, but what we have here is an accusation that a Joppatown man killed his housemate, cut him up, decapitated him, and ate portions of his body, ate his heart and his brains, and this was a gruesome discovery by your deputies after obtaining a search warrant. So, but it all started with a report of a missing person. So
I remember the missing person report came out, I think, Friday of last week. Is that right, Sheriff?
That's when we received the information. Actually, we got the report of the missing person on Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday morning at 12:23 in the morning.
Okay. He was a jogger? Was he jogging?
Well, what was reported to us was that he had left the residence on Friday at 5:30 in the morning, and he was prepared to go jogging.
Okay.
And
and who made that report? Who reported?
That was made by an individual by the name of Anthony Kenyua, who is the father of the person that we've charged.
Okay.
He is the one who made the missing persons report.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Did the father live in the house also? Or
yes.
No? Okay.
Yes.
So it was the father, the son, and then the victim.
Well, those three lived in the house. There's a total of 6 individuals who lived in the house. It was the father, the mother. The accused has a brother and a sister, and also the victim lived in the house.
Okay. And the accused was a Morgan State University engineering student. So evidently he had some smarts.
I'm not certain that he was enrolled at the time of this incident.
Right.
But he was a student, and apparently, from what I understand, very intelligent.
Right. He was in the engineering department. I think he was also in the ROTC department, according to published reports, too, but I think he was dismissed for that.
He was in the process of being expelled, actually, from both of those
right.
Institutions. But just to get back to the narrative of the story, so you have this missing persons report. Your office put out a request for assistance from the public to look for this individual. He's 37-year-old. You're going to have to help me with the pronunciation of his name.
Well, the first name is easy. It's Alexander.
All right.
This is the accused.
Yeah, the accused. Right, Alexander.
His last name is Kenyua. Kinyua.
And the victim in this case was Cujo Bonsafo Agie Cody.
You did a very good job.
Did I? Okay.
Yes,
and he was 37 years old, and the accused in this case is 21 years old. Do we have any idea why this 37-year-old was living in the family home?
I have no idea, other than that they were acquaintances,
mm-hmm.
and he was also a student here in America.
Well, just guessing. I have no idea if this is true or not, but I would think evidently these probably immigrated over here, and they probably lived over here because they were of like culture and so forth. And that's probably not unusual, I would think.
No, I don't think that's unusual. I mean, if you look historically in this country, immigrants from other countries tend to congregate in the same areas,
right. and they
share
share a home or something like that.
Well,
So
yeah, they were
have
both.
enough money to get themselves on their own feet.
They were both African, but Kanae was from Kenya, and the victim was originally, I think, from Ghana.
Correct.
Is that right? Yeah. So, okay, so you get this missing person report, and then you have some information that leads to a search warrant, right? And so take us from that point.
On the search warrant, the information led to the search warrant. The brother of the accused came home and had gone to the basement of the home. And when he went to the basement of the home in the laundry room, he observed a human head and two hands. He confronted his brother, the accused, who denied that the remains were human, said that the remains were animal remains. So the brother of the accused, who had come home and made the discovery, went upstairs and told his father. They came downstairs and the items were not there. That information being relayed to our deputies when they were called back to the scene to get that information promptly led them to obtain a search and seizure warrant for the residence. And when they obtained the search and seizure warrant, that's when they discovered the hands and the head on the main floor of the residence.
And then what happened from there?
The accused was already in custody.
Now, how did that happen? How was the accused taken into custody?
Well, as soon as we developed this piece of information, it's obvious we had some suspicions all along that things weren't really what they were supposed to be or what they were reported to us originally. And with this particular piece of information, we now had enough probable cause to take the subject into custody. We held him in confinement throughout this process, and there was an interview with him.
What was his demeanor? What was his attitude?
The only thing I could tell you at this point in time is that he did cooperate with the investigators in the investigation.
Did he confess to cutting up?
Yes, he confessed that he had cut up the victim with a knife, and he also gave them the information that he admitted that the head and the hands were the victims, and had given them information as to where he had disposed of the remainder of the body. Because
the remainder of the body was not in the home. But did he say why? What was his motive?
We don't know that yet.
And he didn't volunteer anything in that?
But not at this point.
Did he seem angry?
I don't have anything to indicate that, but again, I don't know, because the only thing the detectives are releasing is that he cooperated with them in the investigation.
Well, wasn't the accused out on bail because he had randomly attacked, according to published reports, someone at Morgan with a baseball bat and hit him in the head and blinded him? It was
a brutal, out of the blue attack. Apparently, I mean, there are public reports that this is what that he was out on bail.
My question
and this was a random attack.
How does this guy get out on bail when he hits somebody over the head with a baseball bat and blinds the guy? You're probably wondering the same thing, Sheriff.
Well, I don't really have an answer for you.
You don't have. I know it's a rhetorical question, but it's a question everyone is asking.
And it's also notable. He's 21 years old. So maybe I'll just ask you this question: juvenile records are not open to the public, and that would be up to the age of 18. So we don't know if there was anything prior to that. Whether this came out of the blue.
But this just happened.
Right. But I mean, if it came out of the blue in the span of his not very long life, I mean, a 21-year-old, I still think of as a kid. I just.
But he is.
He's not. No, I understand that. But it's just,
Even at 16, he could probably be charged with as an adult, possibly.
Well, for something like this, but it still would not be if he had priors as a juvenile. We wouldn't have access to that.
Who signed that release?
Well, that's an excellent.
That's the interview.
Yeah,
the
that's
end,
the
right
get.
there.
We'll have
Sorry,
to.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
But
That's okay,
Get that person in here. That's
I'll
what I
take
want
it
So-
into the discussion.
Now,
you
are
stay
you
here with me? It's fact.
now?